Hey, audience. So then I got the results from the evaluation from the Honorable Emery Palmer, Judge of Coweta County Superior Court, Coweta Judicial Circuit, 72 Greenville Street, Suite 3047, Noonan, Georgia 30263, regarding competency reevaluation. Dolly Betty Hernandez, Coweta County, Georgia, indictment numbers 2018 R-601, 2018 R-602, charges terroristic threats, violence in a penal institution, and battery. Dates of alleged offense, March 2nd and May 8th, 2018. Date of arrest, March 2nd, 2018. Dear Judge Palmer, pursuant to your Superior Court orders of March 19, 2019, Ms. Dolly Hernandez's competency to stand trial was reevaluated at the Coweta County Jail on November 6, 2019. Ms. Hernandez was seen for her initial competency evaluation by this evaluator pursuant to your orders dated November 13, 2018, and I opine that she was not competent to stand trial in a report dated January 2nd, 2019. Pursuant to your orders finding Ms. Hernandez incompetent in directing outpatient competency restoration, she has been participating in outpatient competency restoration with Mr. Kelton Dutch, Forensic Community Coordinator, FCC, for the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, DBHDD, since August 14, 2019. Mr. Dutch attempted to provide restoration prior to August while Ms. Hernandez was living in the community on bond, but she was unable to meet with him until she was detained at the Coweta County Jail. Following a recent restoration session, Mr. Dutch recommended that Ms. Hernandez's competency status be reevaluated due to her improved mental status and progress over the course of restoration. Sources of information: clinical forensic interview of Ms. Hernandez conducted on an outpatient basis by Nicole Zoresgo-Coco, PhD, at the Coweta County Jail on November 7, 2019, lasting approximately 50 minutes. Number 2, consent order finding defendant incompetent to stand trial and for outpatient restoration for competency, case 2018 R-601, dated March 19, 2019. Number 3, consent order finding defendant incompetent to stand trial and for outpatient restoration for competency, case 2018 R-602, dated March 19, 2019. Number 4, order for evaluation, case 2018 R-601, dated November 13, 2018. Order for evaluation, case 2018 R-602, dated November 13, 2018. Number 6, Coweta County Sheriff's Office Incident Report dated March 2nd, 2018. Number 7, Coweta County Sheriff's Office Incident Report dated May 8th, 2018. Number 8, Department of Behavioral Health and Development Disabilities, DBHDD, cross-facility search. Number 9, the defendant's medical records from Piedmont Healthcare dated August 2013 and March 2018. Number 10, request for defendant's medical records from the Pathway Center. Number 11, report from initial forensic evaluation of the defendant's competency to stand trial, authored by Nicole Zoresgo-Coco, PhD, dated January 2nd, 2019. 12, competency restoration notes by Kelton Dutch, FCC, dated May 31st to October 15, 2019. Notification of rights. Prior to our review, Ms. Hernandez was provided an advisement concerning this evaluation, was ordered by the judge for the purpose of determining her competency to stand trial. This was Officer Thompson knocking on the door saying that I pulled out a pistol on him on March 2nd and told him I'm going to kill you, motherfucker, when I never did. There was no pistol in the property, nothing. I just simply didn't open the door. I got on the phone, called the lieutenant, James Woods, badge number 147, and I spoke to him, and he told me, oh, come out to the white car. We just want to talk to you. We're not going to arrest you, and we're not going to do none of that. And has the officer tell me, turn around, take your daughter off your hip right now and turn around. I'm sitting there crying. I'm like, my daughter's in school at Northside Elementary. What are you doing? "Oh, we have a warrant for your arrest, ma'am. Turn around right now." I was like, this is really, really a terrible way of setting someone up to take their kids and kill their kids to save D'Angelo from Crohn's disease, which is sad. It's really desperate. I feel like I'm in a movie, John Q movie, you know, like how he held everybody hostage in the hospital and stuff. But she was informed of the limitations of confidentiality and her right to decline participation. She was told that a report of the evaluation would be sent to the judge, who may direct the report be given to the defense attorney and the district attorney as appropriate. Ms. Hernandez indicated that she understood the purpose of the evaluation and its limited confidentiality, agreed to participate in the evaluation, and sign a form indicating her receipt of the advisement. Relevant background information. This history is summarized from information provided by Ms. Hernandez during the initial and follow-up evaluations and supplemented with collateral information from the sources listed above where noted. Due to her mental status at the time of the initial evaluation, her self-reported history from that time should be interpreted with caution. Mr. Hernandez was born in Florida and raised by her aunt. She reported that her parents were from Cuba and that she became a ward of the state. Like, they even put me under a mister. I was never born in Florida. Like, they got all that information incorrect. Ward of the state. After her father killed her mother and then killed himself. Miss Hernandez, they can't even figure out what lies they're going to tell just to keep me from doing me. You feel me? Miss Hernandez said when she went to live with her aunt tried to kill her because of jealousy. Miss Hernandez did not receive special education in school, but was diagnosed with dyslexia and received speech therapy. She graduated from high school and in 2001 was married in California to Kim Kardashian's hitman, a terrible Colombian. Although they separated early in their marriage, their divorce was not finalized until 2009. But before the divorce was official, Ms. Hernandez moved to Florida, where she worked in security truck dispatch. She moved to Georgia in 2005 and has been with her current partner for 10 years. Ms. Hernandez took college classes from the University of Phoenix from 2005 to 2009, studying law, but did not complete a degree. She reported that she was working in a strip club at the same time she was taking classes. She did not work for 10 years due to difficulty obtaining a job, but at the time of the initial evaluation, she had been working at Wendy's for approximately 3 weeks. She has never received Social Security or disability benefits, but believes she should qualify because she fractured her skull in a motor vehicle accident as a child. Ms. Hernandez has 2 young children who have been in foster care since November 2018 due to accusations of child endangerment. Now they changed it to child endangerment when it was originally because of neglect and maltreatment. She spoke in a disorganized manner about these accusations, mentioning suspicion about the motives of the Department of Family and Child Services, parentheses DFCS, and rumors about her children being kept in a septic tank, and stating, "That's why I paid to get the divorce through publication." They didn't even hear me right. That's not what Craig said. During the reevaluation, Ms. Hernandez reported that she was living with her partner in Noonan until June 24th, 2019. When she was detained at the Coweta County Jail, she worked at Wendy's until late December when she was injured in a car accident and no longer had access to transportation. She reported that they took away my food stamps and Medicaid after her children were put in foster care in November 2018. While detained, she has had limited access to phone calls, but her partner is supportive and has been able to visit her. Medical substance use and mental health history. As noted above, Ms. Hernandez reported in the initial evaluation that she was injured in a motor vehicle accident when she was 5 years old. Other records indicated she was in 5th grade. I've never had an accident when I was in 5th grade. She stated that she fractured her skull and was in a coma for 8 months. She stated I should have died or been paralyzed. She stated that she sustained brain damage from this injury and learned how to talk again, and her legs continue to feel wobbly occasionally. Ms. Hernandez reported a history of smoking 9 blunts of marijuana per day and regular cocaine use, as well as experimentation with heroin and ecstasy. She stated that she no longer uses drugs because she doesn't need it anymore, and her last use of drugs was 2 months before the initial evaluation. She reported drinking 1 pound of brandy or gin every 2 weeks, and I drank at home. Regarding her mental health, in the initial evaluation, Ms. Hernandez reported being diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, as an adult, for which she was prescribed Adderall, a stimulant medication from the Pathway Center. She stated, "If I'm doing something, I'll forget," and Adderall helped her actually focus and do something. She stated that she has not taken any medication for ADHD recently. She also reported being prescribed Xanax and benzodiazepine anti-anxiety medication because she would get anxious and do stupid things. She endorsed some manic symptoms, including racing, discombobulated thoughts, and decreased need for sleep, stating, I'm this. I don't sleep at night. When asked about hallucinations, she stated that she sometimes hears a ghost open the door at night and has seen a space shuttle go over the house. She reported experiencing these sounds and visions for her entire life and referenced an exorcism related to these experiences. She reported a history of cutting her wrist when she was recently incarcerated at the DeKalb County Jail. During the current evaluation, Ms. Hernandez reported that on the day she was involved in a car accident. In December 2018, she drank eggnog with brandy before going to work and was not expected to be intoxicated, but her supervisor noted concern about her behavior. While driving home, she was run off the road and injured her leg, chest, and head. Her consciousness was altered, but she did not fully lose consciousness and was not diagnosed with a concussion. At Piedmont, where she received treatment since the accident, she has felt sleepy and discombobulated, has experienced headaches, and has had vivid nightmares about the accident from when she wakes up scared and screaming. She stated that she had been drinking and using marijuana once in a while prior to her most recent arrest. Ms. Hernandez reported that she did not receive any mental health treatment until being detained in June 2019 while at the Coweta County Jail. She has been prescribed the antidepressant Prozac and the antidepressant Remeron to help reduce nightmares. She reported adherence to these medications and said she found them helpful. She reported that her mood had improved and that her coping skills were up to par, dealing with things better. She did report an incident approximately 1 week prior to this evaluation, during which she noticed a nurse laughing at me, so I yelled at him and cursed him out, leading to her being placed in disciplinary segregation. She reported that during this incident, she felt people were out to get me, like my dad killed my mom and then shot himself. I felt like a roadkill. Per records from Piedmont Healthcare, Ms. Hernandez has been diagnosed with a hyperthyroid disorder since 2013 at the latest, as she was receiving pre- and postnatal care in April 2014 when her child was a newborn. Ms. Hernandez tested positive for cannabis use. She told providers she had been using cannabis to help with seizures not mentioned elsewhere and headaches, and providers informed her that they would be contacting social services regarding these findings. In July 2014, Ms. Hernandez reported that she had been experiencing a left-sided headache for the past year and had been experiencing frequent headaches since the age of 30. A CT scan of her brain had unremarkable findings. On March 2, 2018, Ms. Hernandez was brought to Piedmont by the police following the instant arrest because they believed she might be pregnant. Per record, she was not found to be pregnant, and she tested positive for cannabinoid use. Anemia and impaired liver function were also noted. In a mental status exam, the provider described her mood as despairing, fearful, anxious, with inconsistent affect, facial emotional expression. She stated she did not know why she was in police custody. She was disheveled and exhibited paranoia, flight of ideas, and impaired judgment. Ms. Hernandez was medically cleared and discharged to police custody. The DBHDD cross-facility search indicated that Ms. Hernandez has not been psychiatrically hospitalized at any state facilities in Georgia. She reported that she last received treatment from the Pathways Centers in 2014. However, when records were requested from Pathways, no records for Ms. Hernandez were found. Initial competency evaluation. Ms. Hernandez was seen by this evaluator on December 18, 2018, while Ms. Hernandez was living in the community. Her speech was pressured, rapid, and hyperverbal, excessively productive, requiring interruption, and she reported that she felt jolly, with elevated affect, range of observed emotional expression, notable for frequent laughter at her own humorous comments. She reported some recent depression and difficulty adjusting to her children being in foster care. She verbalized markedly disorganized tangential thought processes suggestive of racing thoughts, and she exhibited limited ability to sustain attention to a given topic. She also voiced paranoid beliefs about the circumstances surrounding her charges. I diagnosed Ms. Hernandez with bipolar 1 disorder. Current episode manic with psychotic features. I also noted that residual effects of traumatic brain injury from childhood might have affected her emotional and behavioral symptoms. On the evaluation of her adjudicative competency, Ms. Hernandez's understanding of legal proceedings appeared impaired by persecutory and other delusional beliefs. She referenced the influence of the mafia, God, and the angels when defining the roles of court personnel, and she stated that she did not understand plea bargains even after education. Although she indicated awareness of her current charges, her expressed understanding of the specific accusations and ability to discuss plea options appeared distorted by delusional beliefs. She expressed persecutory beliefs about her attorney, which were resistant to education. Due to these beliefs and her disorganized communication about the circumstances leading to her charges and her plea options, she appeared unable to meaningfully assist her attorney in her defense. Therefore, I opine that Ms. Hernandez was not competent to stand trial and recommended outpatient competency restoration. Course of competency restoration progress notes by Mr. Kelton Dutch indicated that he attempted to contact Ms. Hernandez for several weeks before May 31st, 2019. When she called him on the phone, she was angry and made psychotic statements such as, I have to protect myself and my daughter. They tried to crop our organs. I gotta call the FBI. Mr. Dutch attempted to arrange an appointment, but she reported that she only had a bicycle for transportation and did not live near a library or another public place. Mr. Dutch remained unable to meet with Ms. Hernandez until August 14 when he met with her at the Carroll County Jail. During the initial session, Ms. Hernandez discussed, now they got me in Carroll County. In the report, it says Carroll County. That's how they set shit up. You see that? Are you learning, y'all, in the community, how dirty they do people in this community, in this Coweta County? You know, like, this fool brought me over here to be with me. He told me when I picked up the phone call in Florida at a halfway house. They call it the Hag 2. It's like a homeless shelter, for pregnant moms that go through issues with their boyfriends, domestic violence and stuff like that, or the boyfriends don't really take care of them and stuff, and they have no one to help them. They go to these resourceful places in Miami, and that's where I went because I felt like, there was enough Cubans for me to bond with. I felt at home, like, even though it wasn't home for me and it was the streets. I was 5 months pregnant with my first daughter, Jada, which is his biological daughter, Terrence. And now I remember him telling me over the phone, calling my roommate at the homeless shelter. I want to be with you. Come back to Georgia. I want to help you raise our daughters for this setup, and this was when he called me. You know what year it was? You're not going to believe this, y'all. It was 2010 when he called me. It was 2010, the year 2010. 2010, because I had my daughter August 2011. And that's sad. And now, come 10 years later, this is what they set me up for. You feel me? For failure, for hatefulness, or just a hate crime. But listen to this. Listen to what is written in his report. That is going to shock you. What you're going to hear. This part is really shocking. So they have me in the report under Carroll County Jail when I was in Coweta County Jail, not Carroll. During the initial session, Ms. Hernandez digressed into paranoid rants in response to our questions, and she expressed a belief that she did not have mental health problems. Mr. Dutch continued restoration services at the Coweta County Jail, but was unable to meet with her 1 week due to behavioral problems, leading to Ms. Hernandez being placed in isolation. On September 6th, he noted that her demeanor was markedly more calm, although there was still a prominent presence of paranoid thoughts. She does have a good understanding of the court process, but her paranoid thought takes her off focus. On September 26th, a nurse reported to Mr. Dutch that Ms. Hernandez had been compliant with her medication and that her behavior had improved. On October 15, Mr. Dutch described Ms. Hernandez as calm, albeit with some residual paranoid thoughts. Mental status exam and behavioral observations. Ms. Hernandez is a 36-year-old Latina woman who appeared her chronological age. She presented to this evaluation dressed in standard jail-issued attire, and her hygiene and grooming appeared fair. She was alert and oriented to time, place, and situation. She recognized this. Evaluated from the initial evaluation, and she was pleasant and cooperative with the interview. Her speech was comprehensible and normal in rate and volume. Although it became rapid and hyperverbal, i.e., overly productive, at times when she discussed a topic that distressed her, she was amenable to redirection, such that the majority of her verbal output was comprehensible at a normal rate. She described her mood as depressed, rating her depression at 11 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 indicating the highest severity. Her effect was calm and slightly dysphoric, but full-range and congruent with her verbalizations. Her descriptions of her depressed mood indicated that it was proportionate to the detention setting and her current situation. She described difficulty sleeping such that she feels like a bat because of noises in the jail waking her up at night. She reported that she was not experiencing changes in appetite or any suicidal ideation. She described using positive coping skills such as reading the Bible, and she voiced future orientation and motivation to return to the community and obtain a job. Ms. Hernandez's verbalized thought processes varied. They were predominantly linear and goal-directed. As she answered questions directly and with an appropriate amount of detail, she occasionally provided excessive detail and digressed into tangentially related topics when she was discussing events that upset her. The car accident in her childhood, her children being taken into DFCS custody, and the instant arrest. However, she responded well to redirection and displayed an ability to calm herself and refocus on the topic at hand. Her verbalized thought content was notable for instances of paranoid ideation when she veered into tangential statements about the instant arrest. Her verbalized perceptions of her current situation, however, were rational and reality-based. There were no indications that she was responding to hallucinations, nor did she report hallucinations. Ms. Hernandez verbalized sound insight regarding her mental health and the benefits of treatment, voicing a willingness to engage in treatment in jail and in the community and an awareness of changes in her mood and thinking. She did not display any overt impairments in attention, memory, expressive language, or reasoning. Diagnostic impressions. F31.5 bipolar 1 disorder, current or most recent episode depressed with psychotic features. A diagnosis of bipolar 1 disorder requires a history of depressive episodes and at least one manic episode characterized by symptoms such as racing thoughts, decreased need for sleep, feelings of euphoria, hyperverbal speech, and increased goal-directed behavior. Ms. Hernandez reported experiencing manic episodes and was observed to display manic symptoms in the December 2018 evaluation, which they didn't list. That they sent me to a different place. Not this. They didn't do it here. During this reevaluation, she described depressed mood and sleep disruption commensurate with her circumstances, and she voiced residual paranoid, psychotic beliefs about the instant arrest. She described recent episodes of increased paranoia while detained. She also appears to be coping with the traumatic experience of being in a car accident in December 2018. Reevaluation of adjudicative competency, understanding the nature and object of proceedings. Ms. Hernandez defined the roles of court personnel as follows. So that should show you how these people, and that's just like a little something for y'all to hear how organized these people are in this county. Like, you not play with this county. They will take your kids and they will do whatever they want. You feel me? Like, if you don't live a life, your lifestyle isn't like a square, and you don't do the right thing by your kids, and they miss too many days for school, I mean, they will lie on you. They will make lies. They will try their hardest to sit there and justify the reason why they're taking away something you love, or they think in your mind you love and really care for, you know? So if those people out there got something to say about me, let them say whatever they want, but they're going to have to prove it. You know, all these little comments about, oh, your postings better be childlike postings. You know, taking a picture of a weapon, a gun, and putting it on a Home Depot book isn't against the law. I've seen worse. And the worst part, the social worker went in the confession booth at the courtroom hearing and told everybody, especially the judge, that I was on Instagram waving a gun. This is waving. When if I were, pretend this is a gun right here. This is waving a gun. What I did, pretend this is a gun. I grabbed a gun, put it on a book, and took a picture of it like this. How the hell am I going to be waving a gun and then threatening to kill my children? Like this, when I was translating a song, Sitting Sideways by Pow Wow, where he talks about, he's like, old type son is a front, little Kim gets to taste the angel God's lunch with every flush. And then he says something like, because, I got a big speaker when I listen to my music. I ear hustle. Then he says something about trying to cover up one molestation, trying to figure out which alibi, 5900 in the Tahoe, riding on 24s, pull up in the driveway, maximum sentence. Like, I really pay attention to what people be saying in their songs. You feel me? And there's nothing that I would put on here on YouTube and social media things to really offend children. Unless I'm sending my potential boyfriend or new lover, like a short sex video of a butt or, a body part or something, and still, I still feel some kind of way about it. I feel odd, like, this is not the right thing to do, I really believe in God, and I really believe, and some people see me as a Bible thumper, a church girl, but I'm more than that to God. And I really have a conscience, and I have morals, and I will never kill a child or a baby or switch out anyone's baby in the community to gain anything, to save anyone's life. That's not part of my essence. You feel me? And y'all can say all y'all want about the color of my complexion, but a skeleton has only one color, and that's beige, my nigga. Beige. You feel me? And I could say the N-word, you know why? Because my father's Afro-Cuban. Yeah, he's a nigga. And my auntie, she looks like Celia Cruz. You know, that black Cuban that sings, I so God. Yeah, those kind of people. Okay? So, I don't know what y'all people got in your mind, what's going through your mind, but this is not right. What you guys have done to me, what you're doing to me, what you're saying, how you're limiting my abilities to explore my the resources that every mommy in the community has available to them. You feel me? And then sit in a courthouse and then tell me, oh, we just want you to be a mommy. Haven't I been doing that for the past 6 years? I don't really go nowhere. I have no life. I don't go to dinner. I don't go nowhere. I don't have a date. And this dude, my baby daddy, come home 4 days out of the fucking month. 4 days. 26. There's 30 days in a month. What are you doing and who are you with? 26 days that you're not bonding with me and our daughters. Why I keep telling females, get your education. Not to offend you or, try to run you. But if you could get educated before you get impregnated and try to start a family with these tricking ass motherfuckers that are just liars and gay on the down low that want to use you as an incubator, learn from my experience. To all y'all females in the community, learn from my experience what they're doing to me. Don't do drugs with them. Don't drink with them. Don't drink and drive. None of that, because they will set you up for all the wrong reasons so that they can come up. That's why they use that saying, my nigga, crime pays. Because it do. Crime do pay. Everybody make commission off of that. How many days did they make commission off of me sitting in that jailhouse? 164 days. Money I never saw. Money my hands will never touch. Since December 5th when I got released, December 5th, 2019, these hands haven't touched $100. So I could go to the grocery store and buy whatever I want. But I'm just sitting here praying to God every day, reading. So I leave with this to marinate. Unless the Lord builds a house, the builder's work is useless. Unless the Lord protects a city, sentries do no good. It is senseless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, fearing you will starve to death. For God wants his loved ones to get their proper rest. Children are a gift from God. They are his reward. Children born to a young man are like sharp arrows to defend him. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. That man shall have the help he needs when arguing with his enemies. I try to really consistently do this every day as a habit. That's one of my habits. Pray to God first, then take care of everything else because my babies ain't here with me. But, I have good faith that those parents, those social workers, and those foster parents are going to be adults about taking care of those precious little lives that God gave us because they're angels. They're baby angels that God gives us and puts in our wombs. Because when you don't plan it, it's for a reason. God gives them to us for a reason and to look out for us when we're old and lonely. And no one likes to be lonely and without. That's a terrible feeling. Coming from a third world country where it's a communist government, where you don't own nothing. The only thing you own is what you do with your hands and feet. The decisions and choices that will reflect your tomorrows and your present time, which is a gift. How wonderful it is, how pleasant when brothers live in harmony. For harmony is as precious as the fragrant anointing oil that was poured over Aaron's head and ran down onto his beard and onto the border of his robe. Harmony is as refreshing as the dew on Mount Hermon, on the mountains of Israel, and God has pronounced this eternal blessing on Jerusalem, even life forevermore. So I really like for y'all to think about that. Also marinate on Psalms 91. It's a beautiful prayer, and it really helps me get my life started and my day started because I always like to think positive. Today's going to be a great day. Even though sometimes your enemies prevail in making it the worst day you ever lived. But, hopefully you guys in the community don't think I'm, I'm harmful or think negative thoughts of me that I'm going to harm your kids or, send the police to switch them out or snatch them up or walk away from, have the teachers, how they come up to your car when you're about to pick up your kids behind the school and then they turn around and walk away with your kids and your kids looking behind over their shoulder like, Mommy, I know I didn't do nothing wrong. My conscience is clear. When I sleep at night, my conscience is pure like innocent little newborn baby, because I want the best for everyone, because I know if everyone in the community is doing well, hopefully I could do even better this time. So hopefully God can give me a brand new car, which I've been praying for, y'all. So, wish the best for me, because I really need that. I really do. And it's hard for me to love my enemies. It's difficult for me to forgive people that do dirty things to me and spit in my face without me doing much to them but scratching them on their ass when they move me. It's difficult for me to do that. I don't know how. So I have to pray to God to give me that spiritual ability to be able to cope with that. Because the Bible instructs us to love those that hate you. Love those that persecute you. For my name's sake, for your reward is great in heaven. So I'm just waiting for that reward. But enough of my small talk. I'm not really talking about much, ladies and gentlemen. Mwah. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I'm working on a whole lot of good positive things for myself and my future. I hope y'all do the same. And remember, your health is your wealth, and always, always, always put God first, so he shall direct your paths. Bye.